Well, we have a very special guest, two very special guests in studio today. Becky and Ditto from the Reading with Rover program at the Woodinville Library. Welcome to Spirit 105.3.
Thank you.
Wow, he is a gentle giant, Ditto the Mastiff.
He is.
When I think of a program at a library that would involve children and books, I would think of a golden retriever or a lab. But this Mastiff is a sweetie.
I know. Well, like I said, his mother was a golden retriever.
There you go. That's how it works. I mean, how do the kids react when they see Ditto?
You know, believe it or not, they love him. I think the one thing, we go to different libraries.
Yeah.
And I go to the Redmond Library, and to me, for some reason, that community draws a lot of families whose kids are fearful of dogs.
Wow.
So we don't just get kids who want to read. We get parents who come in whose kids are afraid of dogs, and quite honestly, the parents are too.
Wow.
And so they don't want to be afraid of dogs because this is Seattle, and they're everywhere.
They are.
So I was just so pleasantly surprised that they were mostly drawn to the bigger, calmer, I think because they're calm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Little dogs are a little more unpredictable, maybe, a little more jumpy, and they're cute.
Yes.
Right? But he just lays there.
He just wants to cuddle with you.
He just lays there. And I think the fact that when you touch him, he doesn't jerk. You can touch his feet, and he's pretty immobile. He's a couch potato, right?
Like me.
And so I think they sense that in him, that he's not going to jump up. And so I was surprised to see that majority of the kids afraid of dogs are drawn to a dog like him.
Yeah. What I love is that he just kept getting closer to me. We sat there with my Snoopy blanket on the floor.
And then with Max, he's going in for the lean.
Yeah.
That's what we
He's
call it.
never met a stranger.
Yeah.
You can tell.
If he gets you up against the wall, he'll press on you.
This is so great.
We call it the Ditto press.
Oh!
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
There you go.
Max is tough. So how did you get involved with the Reading with Rover program, Becky?
Well, I've been a dog trainer for a long time. I started my dog training business, Puppy Manners Family Dog School, in Woodinville in 1994. I just started doing it as a fun part-time job. My kids were in school. I wanted something to do. And Mei Mei Wu, the Bothell librarian, reached out to me because she'd heard I had a therapy dog. And she'd heard of this program called Reading for Education Assistance Dogs in Utah. And she thought it would be fun. Reading attendance really goes south in the summer.
Okay.
For kids. They don't come in and read. And so then when they start school in September, of course, their skills are down. And so she was, I'd love to have something that would bring kids in the summer. And I said, do you see the slobber? Like,
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Apologizing. I don't think.
No, this
See,
is
dog
so
lovers
funny.
just forgive him anything.
No,
We don't care.
He's adorable.
So I said, well, let's start a program at your Bothell library. And so we started it there in Bothell. And I said, but that name, Read, kind of reading, education, assistance dog, just to me sounded kind of intimidating and not fun.
Yes.
And so Mei Mei came up with, how about Reading with Rover?
Perfect.
I said, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
And then we only been doing it a few weeks. And I think it was CNN did a little story on it.
Wow.
And the next thing I knew, I was in the airport, and it was on the airport news. Like a little blip. I know. And then Animal Planet reached out to us, and they wanted to feature us on a story called When Animals Talk.
How did that feel?
And by then, we were actually in the North Shore School District doing a program, we started out with like a pilot program at North Shore at Woodmore. And we were also working with autistic kids. And so it's more than just reading.
Yeah.
Right. We go out on crisis. We go to high schools during finals week for stress relief. Wow. And so it just sort of grew from there, from this little reading program at a library to like, hey, having dogs come in anywhere.
Yeah.
Board meetings. It's a stress reliever, right? I've trained dogs for dental offices, for dentists. Yeah.
Comfort. They bring comfort.
They bring comfort, right?
And joy. And they're like a walking hug.
Exactly.
Right? They're full of love.
Exactly. So,
wow.
It just grew from there. So now it's just a matter of, especially in Seattle, we have over 10 elementary schools on a waiting list for a program.
Wow. So you need more Rovers,
We do.
What if somebody's listening and they'd love to be involved in
We'd
this?
love to hear from them. They could email info@readingwithrover.org.
Wow.
Oh, sorry about that. See, they're calling already.
That was a fast response.
Wow.
Becky, you're a hoot.
I know. And then we have,
Yeah, don't bump your head.
I have a training classes at my place in Woodinville, at puppymanners.com. But we also have, if they're already trained, like let's say they've got good basic skills,
Sure.
clearly they don't have to be Ren 1010, but they have to not jump and just be
Yes.
a good family dog, okay?
Yes.
And they have to be able to maintain their manners in the presence of other dogs while on leash. And we take them, we've got therapy classes at my place, and we have other places too. Even we've actually solicited some places in Seattle, like a HEMSA,
Wow.
to teach our classes.
Amazing.
Because we need teams in Seattle. And I thought, well, the best way to get teams in Seattle is if they don't have to drive all the way to the other side to to take their test.
Sure.
Why don't we help these other trainers get them up to speed,
So wonderful.
So we've been working with them, showing them how we teach our classes. And so it's been a great cooperative thing amongst trainers, which was nice to see.
Yes.
Because it's all for one common goal, helping kids in our community
Yes.
in times of need and crisis.
Take me into the library when a dog sits down with a child. What happens? Paint that picture for me.
Well, what happens is first we get there early, and we bring our blanket in and we get our assigned blanket.
Oh, wow.
And we get settled in and the dog has to be laying down. And then, thank God, we actually have dogless volunteers too. We have people without dogs that just want to help, which is nice. So the parents sign the child in, and then we actually ask the parents to step back because they're non-judgmental listeners, and we don't want the parents interfering. They're not there to tutor them. And I find that it just goes way better if the parents can just stay over there.
Yeah, pressure's off.
Yeah, sometimes we have if we're having a problem in that library, we have little cards we hand the parent that, this is how it works.
Yeah.
And we just politely ask them to step
good.
away.
Love it.
And so the child sits down. If they want to pet them first, they can. And if all they want to do is pet them, or maybe they can't read at all, right? Our volunteers they're really great because we're not there to correct them or anything. If I have a child that just has a picture book, and I'll just say, wow, Ditto loves the colors in that book. I go, he's a little worried about that fire truck. Do you think there's a problem? And then they'll just make up this fabulous story. And so sometimes I just get them going that way.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I have to go back to the boardroom. I was fascinated. You've trained dogs to bring comfort, to lower the blood pressure in a boardroom.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of being silly about that, but we would. There are dogs in boardrooms. There's one in mine.
Is there really?
Well, when we have board meetings, I bring a dog in,
I think that's awesome.
We started Reading with Rover as a nonprofit, I think back in 2002.
Yeah.
We were not a nonprofit. And then I just thought, well, this just got real. We need to really pursue this and make this a program. And after we were on Animal Planet.
Amazing.
That was a pretty good push for what we do. And I still hear from people in New Zealand who want to know, how can I do this? Like, where do I even start?
Yes.
And so we try to help them and guide them. And even people across the United States, where I don't have Reading with Rover dogs there, but there are other programs under different names that do reading dog programs, but you want to do it safely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's what's important to us is that the dogs are properly trained and temperament tested. And,
What is it like when they come in? They must be like celebrities when they come into the library.
Oh, they are. We the kids usually ask for the dog, and we give them. I think they're in. Where's the bag? Oh, so here I'll show you.
Yeah.
So all the teams have like little baseball cards, or we have bookmarks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I have Ditto's bookmark here.
What a good idea.
I
A
brought
bookmark.
extras for everybody. Yeah, we give. This is his here.
You just made my day.
There you go.
I can't even take it. It's like a baseball card, but a bookmark, and it has Ditto's 411 on it. This is he is the coolest ever.
Yeah.
I just can't even take it. Is he the most popular, do you think, Becky?
I like to think. Well, okay. I have a brag here.
Okay.
Right. So we went to see, we go to the USS Barry, to visit the Navy personnel had us come to the USS Barry because they work hard.
Yes.
And they thought it would be great to bring dogs in once a month.
Yeah.
And so way over in West Seattle, and
wow.
I thought it's kind of a long awkward drive over the West Seattle Bridge. And
Sure.
nobody from the other side wants to make that drive.
Nope.
But I thought, oh, let's go. And I have to say, oh my gosh, those guys love Ditto. And then the next thing I know, we're like on their Instagram. And she cross-posted to my Instagram. And I guess there's a song called Ditto, Ditto, Ditto. And now that Ditto song like was playing everywhere.
He's got a theme song. You got to put it on the bookmark.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so I loved it that they were playing the Ditto song with Ditto on it on their Instagram. It was so cute. But
So great.
I kind of felt like he was pretty popular with the ladies.
Becky, where does your passion come from to do this?
Oh, I think I grew up with 3 brothers. I didn't have a sister. I really didn't have a confidant,
Yeah.
other than my dogs.
Yes.
And I think I had a good way with dogs, but to be honest, like I was just telling I hired just a bunch of new people recently. And I said, listen, I go, I can teach anybody about dogs, right?
Yeah.
But what you can't teach is nice.
Yes.
And so to me, it's like to be a good dog trainer, you have to be a nice person and work with people. And I think really mostly what I loved about working with dogs is I love working with people who love dogs.
Yes.
Right. So like you invited me here. I'm like,
Oh.
yes, I get to go to a radio station. And tell my husband, I go, they love dogs, Dave.
We do.
I go, they love dogs. Like, this is going to be cool. I love working with people who love dogs because that's just such a safe space.
Yes,
right?
it is. It is.
And then when I got connected with, I was really looking for something with my dog to do something with my Labrador because she wasn't really a hunter. She was kind of lazy. And, and so when I got that call saying, hey, we're looking to start a reading dog program, I said, that'd be great. And then I had this really sweet chocolate Labrador who was very calm and kind of in tune with people's feelings more. And I took him to hospice. And I thought, wow, that's when I really thought there's just such a need for people to come in with nice dogs and connect. That just, selfishly makes me feel good. But it also has to be what the dog wants. So, I
Yeah.
really started it was because it was something that my dog enjoyed. Mm-hmm. If he'd enjoyed something else, I would have done that too.
Yeah.
But, I've just always grown up with dogs. And
I think humans and dogs need each other.
they do.
So thank you for filling that need with love, Becky, with Reading with Rover. And tell me the name of your business again.
Oh, well, it's Puppy Manners Family Dog School.
Manners Family
and we have a really fun Instagram. Well, it's kind of fun on our Instagram story.
Okay.
It's Puppy Manners School. And we run a little doggy day school. And we have puppy days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all puppies under 5 months. And we socialize them. I know. You're going to
heaven.
quit your job and apply tomorrow.
I
aren't
may
you?
have to, yeah.
Um,
Broadcasting
and
live.
the big dogs come on
From-
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But what's kind of fun is that I do a lot of behind the scenes things, like how we're setting up the crates and who's going to go where and who's going to be in what group and why they're in that group. And so I think people really love seeing behind the scenes of a doggy day school.
Yes.
And because you don't really get to see that.
I will be following you.
Oh, you should follow
with all
us.
of my heart.
It's super
Yes.
fun. And we put Reading with Rover stuff up there too.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Becky and Ditto, thank you for coming.
Yay, thank you. He's asleep.